Fellow Amazonians, this is a series I will be obliged to give out to you people. I call Keep the Record Straight. You know, yesterday was April the 5th, 2020. I want to congratulate all those of you who attended Interim Government Ground Zero Connect conference, which will be holding every month, first Sunday of the month. Yesterday I came out to take questions from more than 300 persons I did not know, that I know are surely Amazonians or people who are interested to know about our struggle. I came out boldly to take questions from Amazonians. And watched by hundreds, if not 1,000, on social media, and thousands more on Ground Zero, if not millions. Ready to take questions from Amazonians concerning the struggle, concerning the operations of the interim government. I did this to set an example that leaders should be held accountable by the population, that the population should be able to question them on the work they are doing for them. The citizens have that right. I challenge every other leader in this struggle, who has been and who is and who will be, to also not just organize private meetings, but come before Amazonians without discrimination and be open and willing to answer questions, any question they will ask you, and answer it to the hearing of all Amazonians on any issue. That is what is expected in Amazonia, the kind of Amazonia we are building. You know, facts are very stubborn. Facts are stubborn. You can have your opinion up and down or left and right, but the facts remain the facts. You can have your own version of the story, but you cannot have your own set of facts. The facts are stubborn. It's like the truth. It's eternal. With the truth, time does not destroy the truth. It does not change the truth. The truth does not fade. The truth can be silent and let lies bark like a dog from morning to evening. But the truth shall not change. It will remain consistent. The truth shall remain truth, not just during this revolution, but well after this revolution. The only thing that will remain for people to judge and to read about and to talk about is the truth of the matter. All these manipulations will fade away. The truth shall remain. Yesterday, I answered a question on my trip to Boya. And the IG. In other words, it had to do with accountability. And somebody opined that I have embezzled money, I should resign. I would like to revisit that question by asking you this question. If your child thinks he is sick and you want to investigate the state of his health, will you send him to a medical doctor, or you will send him to a farmer or a journalist to go and investigate his health? Who will you send your son or your child to? I thought you would send your child to a medical doctor. When it comes to financial matters, there is only one arbiter. There's only one investigator. There's only one expert that can look into records, go into the accounts, be given all the passwords, who require all the records, all the accounting records, all the in and out. There's only one expert that can look into those records and ask technical questions, get those answers, and make his opinion and tell you what it is and what it is not. That person in any organization, with every government, is called an auditor. An auditor is an auditor who investigates financial positions or operations in any organization. When I insisted that there must be an audit, I cannot lead an organization that will not be audited. Those in the IG will tell you the talk of war between me and my Secretary of State for Economy and Finance to get an audit done. And when by November, December 2018, I will not get an audit throughout the year, even 3 months after my trip to Boya, I caused an auditor, internal auditor, to leave London to get here to the United States to get the audit done. But for lack of collaboration from the Secretary of State for Economy and Finance, the audit report that I got from the auditor was a miserable disappointment. Lack of collaboration, unwillingness to surrender every account with every password, unwillingness to collaborate 100%. We got an audit that we rejected in the cabinet, and the Restoration Council, we informed the Restoration Council that this audit report that we have is unacceptable. And because of that report, I took a decision to suspend our Secretary of State for Economy and Finance. When I wrote the letter of suspension, I was still in talking terms with Mr. Ayuk Tabe as president in prison. When I gave him a copy of that letter, he said no. His opinion was, forget about the treasurer and the Secretary of State for Finance for now. Don't suspend him. People might think that you want to throw him under the bus because you are being accused. So we shall visit this matter afterwards. That was his advice, which I foolishly followed. He would have been suspended long before the end of 2018. So, the idea was, don't suspend him, because they were already working on the APNC, which will literally remove me from the seat of government, so that issue will never be revisited. So the idea was, the trick was, don't suspend him, we shall look into this matter later on, while a mutiny was being organized to put me out of government, and that issue will never, there will never have been any audit for Ambazonians to see today. after the failure of the APNC, the miserable failure of the APNC to remove me, I knew that we needed more than an audit. We needed the most transparent financial investigation. I asked the county chairs of Ambazonia to give me Ambazonians, one per county, 13 in number, plus the head of the Judicial Commission in the IG, the head of the ethics, late Chief Francis, the head of the Ethics Committee, and other experts in the House to audit the IG, to beyond my trip to Oyo. All the records that were available should be audited. That all those who used money should be questioned, interrogated. This committee, made up of, some of them are Fortune 5 auditors, company auditors, people of caliber, timber and caliber, Ambazonians, professionals of no mean reputation, selected or appointed by Ambazonians, not me, came together. And when the Secretary of State for Economy and Finance was called upon as the main person who kept the records, who gave us a few bank statements from the first failed audit, was required to come and collaborate 100% with this National Audit Committee, which is still in place as I speak. He told that committee, he told Ambazonians who were represented by that committee that he will only appear before that committee or surrender to that audit if SAKO IKOME will authorize him to go to appear for an audit. That was the same excuse from the treasurer. That was the same excuse from Kalesh. That was the same excuse from Yerima Daphne. They will not appear. All of them handled money. They will not appear before the audit unless they were authorized by IKOME. In other words, IKOME has not authorized us to appear before an audit by Ambazonians. This audit was not imposed on me or the interim government by anybody. I was the one who insisted and insisted and insisted and demanded an audit. I demanded for it. Go online, you'll see all the orders that I signed insisting that there must be an audit. Because those were public presidential orders which I signed for the audit to be done and for all to comply. They are public knowledge. I did not create the IG. This movement that has culminated in the creation of IG as the United Front for Ambazonians today did not begin with me, did not begin here. It started as the consortium under Comrade Agbombala. Permit me, with all due respect, to ask these questions to Ambazonians. Was the consortium ever audited? I mean audited not by any one person coming to look into the record. Has anything like this happened, like I did, that Ambazonians selected their own best and they sent to look into the records of the interim government? Did it happen any time in the struggle, in our struggle? Has it happened any time? was the consortium, was Agbombala audited. Then the consortium, after the consortium was created, after a while, another organization was created called SAKO, led by Comrade Tassan and Comrade Milan. Was the SAKO ever audited? Like the IG has been audited by independently selected Ambazonians. Has it ever been audited? The AGC has been there from 1900, or I don't know from when. Has the AGC ever been audited by Ambazonians? Outsiders who are just contributing, who are not part of the organizational structure. Have they ever audited the AGC and given you an audit report? Has the APLM, that has also been there as long as probably prior to the creation of the AGC, as SCYL, have they ever been audited by Ambazonians who are non-members of their structure? And the audit report published. Has Morisk ever of Comrade Bohebed, has it been audited by Ambazonians and the report made public? Has any activist from Tapan Ivo to Mark Barretta, who were not just activists, but interim presidents of the consortium, when were they audited by Ambazonians? Have they ever been audited? Was there any audit before, during, and after their tenure by Ambazonians who were not appointed by them to look into their financial operations and publish an independent report and make it public? Have they? Were they audited? Has any activist today who is talking, who have received money from Ambazonians? I never received any contribution from Ambazonian for any project when I was an activist. Today, nearly every activist is collecting money from Ambazonians. Yes, to use for the struggle. Has any activist submitted himself to an audit by Ambazonians who are not within his circle to look at the financial operations, the in and out, the expenditure of that money, and made a report and given to Ambazonians? Name me one activist. Was Mr. Ayuk Tabe Julius ever audited by an independent committee of editors appointed by Ambazonians to look into his financial dealings, operations, how he used the people's money that was contributed, and they published the report for the public to see? Was that done? Without priding myself for anything, I'm the only leader at this time who has been audited. Not by some appointee that I appointed, but by a committee of experts elected by Ambazonians who took 40 days and 40 nights, interviewed people for 200 hours to look into the reports, and then made their findings and published an audit report and made it public. I'm the only leader who has done that. But ironically, I'm the one who is called a thief by all. I'm the one who is called an embezzler by every one of them. Every one of these people, some of them, they have called me thieves. Go and check their Facebook profiles. Listen to their audio recording. They call me thief. The only one who has ever submitted himself to a public audit by non-appointees to look into the records is the thief. The ones who resisted, refused, rejected anyone to come and look into their financial dealings are the saints. They are the ones leading the crusade that I should resign because I embezzle money. Seriously? Is that in the audit report? If you do not receive a copy of the audit report, you better look for one. It was done for the interim government. It was not done by the interim government appointees. It was done, that's an audit report by Amazonian financial experts who contributed their money. So does that report say that, does that report not say who embezzled money and who refused to collaborate with the exercise? Of course, the report cannot be conclusive because the person who kept the records, who kept all the records, Mr. Tabenya, did not appear before the audit committee. The only thing the audit committee used were statements that were prepared and given to the auditors. But that's not how auditors work. When you are being audited, you literally hand over your keys to the auditors to look for anything, and you readily give them anything they ask for in your keeping. Every password, every account, past, present, every record, everywhere they want to look into, so that they do their complete investigation. So, did the record say that SAKO embezzled $2 million? Did the record say the IG ever even received $1 million? What is in the records? Whose testimony will you believe? Do you believe what any journalist can brandish and tell you about? Or you believe what the testimony of experts? What kind of Amazonia are we trying to build? In the United States of America, where you have a case in court, and that case concerns a particular thing, they call only an expert to give his opinion. They don't call charlatans and people who know how to speak English to come and present anything. You must be a certified expert in that field to do the investigation and give your opinion to the court. That is how it is. If anybody thinks that his hands are clean, the National Audit Committee is still in place. I did not create it. I did not appoint the members therein, so I cannot dissolve it. They are still ready to receive these gentlemen who were told not to appear before that audit until they come there to the audit and surrender all accounting operations before Dr. SAKO from SCACUF and all the records that were there, income and expenditures, as was required from me. And these experts look into these records and bring out their expert opinions. I will not be distracted by spoilers, who paid spoilers maybe, or haters, or probably people whose minds have been corrupted by whatever, compromised by whatever, to make stories repeat lies, hoping that lies can become truth. The people who are telling you lies, that the only person who has stolen money is the one who was correctly audited, and the auditor did not say he stole money. The people who keep telling those lies and have never been audited and will not submit themselves to an audit, they have one hope, that by constantly hearing the lies, you might believe them. They also have another hope, that by constantly hearing the lie, even if you don't believe them, you might doubt the truth that you have been told. And if you doubt the truth that the IG has showed you and told you, then it will affect your commitment. It will affect. Their hope is that these constant lies and sabotage will bring confusion. In that confusion, even if you don't believe what they said, it will cause you to doubt the truth and the facts that have been presented to you, even by the experts. If they succeed to create that doubt in your mind, they know they can bring discouragement. If they bring discouragement, they know it will affect your commitment. How you give to the struggle, how you sacrifice to the struggle will be affected. And if that happens, if there is a withdrawal of commitment and sacrifice, then the IG will fall, because he will not be able to do the things he has to do to promote its agenda. So the intent is to defund the IG, to make it weaker, unable to pursue its goal of total and unconditional independence. So if you want to pull down something, as they have publicly declared that we will pull down this IG, you cannot do away with something without a replacement in mind. So what is their replacement? Their focus all their energy and their sabotage is the replacement of what the IG stands for. The IG is not just a government, it represents a philosophy that is guiding this revolution. The collective aspiration of the people in this revolution, the people of Amazonia. So if you are pulling it down, it means you are going to deny the people the possibility of achieving that goal. So what is your replacement? Internal remedies, direct talks with La Republique, direct talks with Camto, direct talks with the French Cameroon hegemony for some special status, some kind of federalism, some kind of arrangement that will keep us within one Cameroon. That's the only alternative for what IG stands for. That's the only alternative. There are only two alternatives in this struggle: either internal remedies or an international process towards our separation. If you reject the international process leading to our separation, then you are automatically killing the international process, so that the internal remedies, internal fixes within La Republique should gather momentum, should be the final solution to the conflict. You know, Amazonians, let us be wise. Let us be wise. Let us not allow people who don't know anything in a particular domain to be the ones to give us facts. Let us not give people a pass who are trying to play on our intelligence. If I'm questioning you about financial propriety, I need an auditor to look into your records and bring your opinion, not a television program, not hours of audio and video recordings, not fabricated, unverified facts that no expert else has been able to look into and tell us that those things are exactly what you say. This is the rubbish in our revolution. God save Ambazonia.